This is going to be a bit more interactive. So we have Marco Wilde with us today from Airbus Defence, which is a great pleasure. So thank you so much for being here with us. He's going to share some insights on how he works with freelancers, which might be super interesting for you as well to understand how do big corporates actually work with freelancers. So stay tuned. I think he's going to ask some questions. So if you want to submit your questions, you can obviously do it through the QR, but I think it's going to be even easier to just speak up loud. So you have my permission for once. Please enjoy and welcome on stage, Marco.
Okay, thanks a lot. Welcome from my side. Thank you very much, Bastian, for the opportunity to speak and to exchange here. I will give you a talk information and example about what we did with code control since some years. And I'm really happy for this opportunity. And you know that there was a scientific research that was done some years ago that on the performance of judges about their decisions over the time. And it seems that just before lunch is a very bad time. So you get negative decisions. After lunch is a quite good time. So I'm happy to have this slot, and I hope that you appreciate the exchange. So as already said, we can really answer all the questions directly. We don't have to wait. First of all, my role, I'm in the company, Airbus. It was called DASA when I joined, so it's quite a time that I'm in the company. Some of you might know ERDS or Cassidian or these things. Now it's Airbus Defence and Space. In that company, I'm in the domain of innovation management since 15 years. First in the role of an engineering innovation manager, and now since 7 or 8 years in the domain of IT. We call it digital, and there we have constructed an organization to deal with new digital technologies. So we set up a team with digital capability leaders that have a development team, and we covered, for example, IoT, mixed reality, advanced analytics. AI was not a topic in Airbus 6-7 years ago, and other mobility and these things were subjects. And we tried to do proof of concepts with our internal business and to bring it into our development, into industrialization. So onboard it really in our organization that it is used as a service. While we were doing this in the domain of advanced analytics, we started a first use case together with code control because we had no capability, no experience in the domain of chatbots. I mean, now it's a bit old age, it's really outdated, but in order for you to understand how we work, it was some years ago that we asked for support for a freelancer to support us in this domain, because we do proof of concepts for 3 months only, and we have no time limitations, we have no milestones that we have to meet, so that it's quite easy for us to also onboard freelancers. So that was really successful. We performed the proof of concept, and 5 years later, just in order to make you understand how we work, we're a large organization. We have since 2 or 3 months now the chatbot live. So we did the proof of concept 6 years ago, and now we have it rolled out, deployed for all Airbus Defence and Space employees. It's a chatbot for the service desk, so for the usual tasks that you require to find information, to reset your password, you can use this. It's a quite clever thing. But it's based on a platform that is rolled out for all Airbus. So all the chatbots are on one platform. So we have to wait for the whole organization to align on the platform and then to really install it, to make a service out of it, to do all the IT security stuff that we have to do in our context. And since 2 months, we have it. So that's the speed we have. It's for sure an issue for some of you because the mindset is quite different. So this was one of the use cases. Now, for example, we have aligned with Airbus as a whole on a set of new digital capabilities. So we are going for sure for you it does not seem the most actual, but we are focusing on scientific computing, which includes high performance computing, quantum computing, edge computing. We go for extended reality topics, still the augmented and virtual reality, but also the meta world, and as well IoT, so connectivity, and for sure the advanced analytics and AI topics. So nevertheless, from the old bunch of digital capabilities, most of these have been developed into services already. So our team is now down to business developers and innovation managers. We don't have any capacity anymore. We have no developers now. But we have a set of new digital capabilities that we have to mature and to integrate into our organization. So how can we do it? We don't have it in-house. So none of our IT colleagues, by the way, we have about 1,500 internals in the IT, and in the total we are 3,000. So, but the new technologies we have not available. So what to do? This is the task. And now we see the opportunity for sure that with freelancers that could be definitely solved if our large organization would somehow be able to work with freelancers. And that's the task currently. We really have an issue. And for this, I'm currently working on an initiative. It's the gap analysis for new digital capabilities. So we look at the roles that we have in our organization and the required skills and try to find out what kind of people do we need in the future. And coming from this side, I think it would be a good opportunity to check with our organization whether there are formal ways to onboard freelancers, because this is currently not the case. You can imagine, due to compliance and to legal restrictions, we are also obliged to do 3 tenders. So if somebody from a team who requires a new digital capability, he asks our procurement. The procurement asks for a template, asking what is required, and they do 3 tenders to some big companies that withhold some resources, and then they send somebody. But from my experience and what I have heard, it's not always clear and it's not always checked whether they have the skills required. So that's an issue. For a large corporation, it would be nice for me as a team lead. It would be nice to really say, okay, this person with that skills, with this experience, where I really can have the confidence that this person does not require 3 months of training when the person comes, and we have 10 days to do the job. That's an issue. Another issue is that we are a slow tanker, as I said, and that our time schedules move. So if we try to hire a freelancer for a certain period of time, from March to October, and our schedule moves. This is an issue for us, and some of the people just avoid thinking about hiring freelancers. They just go for the large companies, because the large companies have a huge set of resources available, and if the schedules shift, they just send somebody else who has maybe not the skills required, and we have to train them. We would like to work with the specialists, but we have to go through procurement, and we have to take care of the management of all the resources. So we need to have skilled people who will really manage the freelancer. And this is not always there. We have no formal way of approaching freelancers directly. That's really an issue. And currently, we have started discussions with Code Control about to find out ways to initiate this formalization, because as soon as people in my organization know how to do it, they need to know that it is secure, that we have flexibility. They need to know in which projects can I use freelancers, and in which projects do I need to go for AUG or VFK. This is really a thing that most people do not know it, and therefore they have insecurity. They don't know whether they go personal risk or not. Because you must know that we have obligation, each employee, to do compliance trainings, 2 per year, and you have to do it. And therefore, as this is a top company objective, to take care of compliance topics, everybody's afraid going this risk. Yeah. Do you have some questions so far? Any comment? Yeah, please.
And I can only speak for myself that I like it best if you leave me alone as long as possible. And often people tend to get in my way of doing my work. So I'm like, yeah, I'm in a hierarchy of a big organization like Airbus, and I have to ask them, and they have to ask the higher uppers. And this all costs money, and it's completely unnecessary. And the most efficient ways that I experience to work is to build little small task forces without any management and just get the stuff done. So why do you say it's such a huge issue and problem for you to manage all the freelancers?
Yeah, you also could say people need to know about how to get out of the way of the freelancers. So they lose a bit of control, for sure, and they are not used to work this way. We always say that we are very bad in writing requirements at Airbus. And this is a fact. When students come into our company, nobody trains us to write requirements correctly and in an efficient way. And nobody trains us to handle VFK, nobody trains us to handle freelancers. And it's in all directions. It's not only that we don't know how to steer external people. It's already an issue with our internal management of our internal resources. And just to say, in infrastructure, for example, we are currently only in my site. They are hiring 120 people to run infrastructure services. They move them into a building from MediaMarkt because we have not enough space and we do not have enough resources to really monitor everything, to guide these people, to really set them up so that they can become operative. So it is for sure an opportunity and an advantage to have freelancers who can work independently, but I'm not sure that people dare and know how to do this effectively. Because we can easily destroy the advantage if you micromanage and control everything. That's true. Thanks.
Okay, first question to you. When you receive a profile, is this the original profile from the freelancer, or is it an, say, an hyphens designed profile by the recruiting company?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I can answer from my perspective. So we as innovation, as I already said, have some other opportunities to run projects. So we have the freedom to go through an innovation procurement process. And this is how I did it. I directly contacted Code Control. We arranged the right resource. We selected the person with the CV, and then sent this to our procurement of innovation, and then it was managed. In reality, such kind of a mechanism is not existing in our company for real operations or services.
I've got the experience that the recruiting company launched a profile, and this was only a minimum of my expertise. It was 2 pages and that's it. And so my question to you is, do you receive the original ones, right? So that is, maybe it's a good idea to have control by the freelancer to check with the recruiting company how they present my profile.
Yeah, exactly. We discussed this as well. So for sure, it's one of the advantages that if we have the exact information and also the evidence that you have experience in a certain domain, that is the benefit we have. So we need to establish formal processes from our company to make sure that instead of going blind tenders to the large providers where we get blind resources, they tell us, okay, they have these and these skills. But if you ask them personally, they said, okay, I started reading about this subject 2 weeks ago. And we have to onboard them and train them. So for sure, it's a benefit for the large company to really have access to the information and the experience and the profile of the freelancer. That's the benefit. Otherwise, we are in the same situation as we are now.
So more or less, you received the original one. Maybe the header is the header of the recruiting company, but didn't say 2 pages or so.
No, what I say is that we need to set up a proper process so that the employees in the large corporation can exactly fulfill the need by searching the resource. And then the process should start. Then procurement can do their stuff. But the benefit comes when we directly select. And therefore we need the exact profile, for sure. And it's the other way around as well. We already discussed. So it's also important that the freelancers have insight about the mindset, about the structure, about the history, and all the setup of the large corporation. They also could say, okay, in such a kind of environment, I don't like to work. This is too big, too small, too old, too young, I don't know. They also need to have the information. So this should be transparent, this process. So the freelancer needs to know what he has to, or she has to expect, as well as for the large corporation. Yeah, please.
So if I get it right, you do not only need freelancers, you need a complete structure and infrastructure for hiring them.
Sorry. So if I get you right, you do not only need freelancers, you need the complete structure and infrastructure for hiring them, for setting them up and running them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
It's more or less a prerequisite, what I would say, because as an employee, you rely on the formal processes of your company to be safe, to not come in conflict with compliance or legal. So if this is in place and it's communicated that this opportunity exists, because currently nobody thinks about it, or not nobody, but many people do not know, then it enables really the exchange of information, and then you can start the process to hire.
So the complete thing starts with compliance. Yeah, and
yeah, among others, yes.
Yeah, I can help you.
To me, it sounds like you need to do something like found your own sub-company that does the hiring for you, and that you can give a tender, and then they know, and you have some control on your side about the company and who they are sent and how they are looking at the profiles or so.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. I rather would start the communication between existing companies who have the access and the network already, and to talk to the large corporations. We will start talking to each other soon, just to find a way to formalize this step by step. I don't think that it's an immediate activity, so we meet and the next week we have a solution, because there are opposing forces, I would say. There would be some influence from some players within and outside the company. Legal, finance, for example, will have to have a say. So it's really start talking, and then establish these formal ways so that we can go between the companies, because it's not established yet. Thank you.
Another question: when we speak of personality versus skills, is there anything that you look out more for?
Yeah, it's personality. I mean, skills are important. So as we just said, if people in the company, in the large corporation, receive the full CV and they select the resources, this is one part. On the other side, I don't know whether you are aware of the spiral dynamics of Graves' theory. Do you know this? Okay. It's a model to show how the mindset of people is set up. You start with the red ones. You know, other big five or all the other systems that can be applied, but you have red ones, for example, who are more leaders, who live in the now and here. They try to decide now and then go forward and not think a long time and wait. Then we have the blue ones, so blue personality mindset, which is very structured, maybe in authorities, in police. You have the green ones. It's more the community people that will do networking, will take everybody with them. You have the orange people, who are in Germany, you would say mein Haus, mein Auto, mein Boot, mein Pferd. They are more related to success. They are ready to act. A lot of self-employed people have an orange mindset. They really like to act, they like to perform, and they like to achieve. Then we have the yellow ones. The yellow ones try to understand everything before they act. and they try to have a systemic idea of action. So they only act if they understood everything well and if the activity makes sense. And then on top there are the turkeys, which really deal about sustainability and these topics. So if you look at mindset, in our mindset, in IT services, you more or less find the blue ones, so very structured. I even, when I came to the organization and I met people in service, they say, like, go away with your innovation. I don't want to innovate. It's an additional task. I have enough to do my service. I want to operate my service, do my updates, and then I go home. I don't need complexity. And for sure also green people and yellow. But all these are more or less community related mindsets. Whereas in the self-employed domain, you find red people and orange. So there is something you need to do in order to work together. So that's also something that needs to have a fit. And you can be prepared for that if you know about this and you know about approaches on how to deal with the blue ones, with the green ones, then it makes everything easier. But for sure, there is some aspect of mindset and skills. Both are important. And it's also for the freelancer. You will not be happy after 3 months, after 6 months, if you don't fit into a blue organization. It really can be embarrassing.
Great, thank you so much. And in general, how important do you think freelancers are for big companies? And is there somewhat like a perfect ratio of full-time employees and freelancers?
Mm-hmm. I can only give my personal opinion, and I'm pretty convinced that due to the market, how everything develops, the portion of freelancers should be, and I think will be higher in the future, because we cannot hire, especially with our very stiff procurement regulations, with our payment frameworks. It's not possible. So there are competitors that pay 30% more than our company, are more interesting to young people who are invested in the new technologies. And for sure, this will become a large problem for large corporations like ours to get the right resources. Therefore, I think freelancing needs to go up.
Thanks for sharing. It's very interesting. And following what you just said, do you expect any political decisions, maybe on, I don't know, on Germany level or European level, which will maybe simplify big companies like Airbus to hire freelancers?
Okay. First of all, I have to say I have less knowledge than you because I missed both political slots during and I'm a very non-political person, so sorry, I cannot answer. I hope that, and I think that it's necessary, but I cannot do any statement. Sorry.
I think we have time for 2 more questions. Yeah.
So my impression from the other side, so I will be announced, presented to a company, and in most cases I don't know about the background, what they are looking for. So what we discuss, and it's my duty, and it shouldn't be the other way around, it's my duty to find out the background, why they are looking for this. I mean, not the skills. So the skills. So it's agreed, and hopefully, yes. So, but what's the background, right? Why they are looking for this? Is there a crisis situation in the project or so? Mm-hmm. In say, not more than 20%, you receive the information in advance. It's up to you to find this out. And then you see the uncertainty on the other side, and then the discussion, the interview is blocked somehow. Because what's in the background? And you're getting not only in 20%. So in this, now my strategy is to find this out in advance from the recruiter. But unfortunately, very often the recruiters are really unskilled, that are newbies, and they don't have maybe they don't ask for the background of this.
Yeah, I
right?
think
and
we
this
talked
is
about
a real problem.
Yeah, I think we talked about this some minutes before. I think it's exactly the two-way communication. So it's not only that the large corporations can select according to skills, but it's also to share from the large corporations and the platforms about the context of the position, so that the freelancer can decide, okay, this will be a match or not, for sure. And I think we had the workshop with John yesterday, and it's a two-phase approach, because he asked for something that can be done in 1 year and something that can be done in 3 years. I think freelancers are more agile and flexible, could start working on that subject, also on the communication skills and empathy to really get the information from the respective people, whether it's a recruiter or platform owner, in order to make the right decisions. The second one is then to really work on the organization's formal setup to really provide this, because this requires communication between the players, and I think it's necessary to make good decisions, to be efficient. Otherwise, you're losing such a lot efficiency and time. It's not only that you lose money. You know that frequent changes in a team are not good for the team as well, and it creates demotivation, and this is not what is intended and should be avoided.
And then maybe the last question: do you think freelancers are the future?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Perfect. Well then, Marco, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks a lot.